Santa Rosa United, boys players, girls players, everybody who's been invited and wants to be here can be here. I want to introduce Carlos Gonzalez from TGS. He is and correct me if I'm wrong, the VP of college recruiting for TGS. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
And before this meeting, we found out, we were like, hey, I think we know each other. We did, I think, a C license or maybe an A license together in Casa Grande in Arizona, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was a fun experience. So again, soccer world's a small world. So I will let him speak to the purpose and everything of what we'll cover tonight. But thank you for attending, and we'll be sure to get this video out to you at the conclusion in a day or two, and we'll get it to everybody else who was not able to attend. So without further ado, Carlos, you're on.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ben. I just want to thank you guys for having me out here. Very excited to be able to present to you guys and help you guys out through this college recruiting process, and give you some insight on the actual program. So I'm going to bear with me. I'm kind of multitasking here, letting people in and moving from screen to screen. But as I said, I will record this for future reference, so you guys have this. I want to thank Ben for putting this together and hosting it. They do a great job up there with Santa Rosa United in terms of everything that they're showing you guys on the field to get recruited, get placed, get play at that next level. So what we do with TGS is we support everything that they're doing, from the coaching staff to the directors, in terms of how we can help you guys through this college recruiting process. We understand it can be overwhelming and stressful at times. So we want to take that away, simplify the process for you, and give you a platform that you can use and will be helpful and efficient and save you guys some time and hopefully solve some problems for you. So that's the plan and the goal. And like I said, we're here to assist Santa Rosa United and you guys as players and parents. The way this webinar is going to work is I'm going to share a little bit more information about myself, and kind of how I'm in a position to be able to share this knowledge and education and information with you in terms of the college recruiting process and TGS. I'm going to give you an overview of TGS and the product. I'm going to show you about a 13-minute video on how to use the player app. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you a desktop video tutorial on how to use the program itself. And then I'll answer any questions after that. If you have any questions that come up, feel free to put them down in the chat and share them with everyone. And then I'll be able to go through those, scroll through those, and answer those questions for you. Okay. Ben, at any time, if I'm going through this and I'm talking about something and it doesn't seem like it's matching the screen, let me know and say, hey, your screen's not showing up, or something like that. That way I'm, making sure I'm giving you guys the information that you need. Okay.
Will do.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. This is where things get tricky. So here you should see college recruiting, TGS, club teams. It's a keynote presentation. So you see that all good?
Correct.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to step into, just give you a little bit of background on myself. I did play college soccer. I played D1 at the University of San Diego. That's the private school, not San Diego State and not UCSD. But it's a private school in San Diego. I was very fortunate to get recruited from Arizona to play there. I come from a family of 6, so without an athletic scholarship, there's no way I would have had an opportunity to afford to go to that university. So that was helpful. Soccer was a means or a vehicle to help me get into college, play soccer. My first year, 1992, we went to the NCAA finals, played against Bruce Arena, Claudio Reyna, all the basically the men's national team at the time. So that was a great experience for me. The whole college playing experience was incredible. The friendships, the relationships, the teamwork, the travel, everything like that was amazing. And then as a byproduct of it, I also got an education in communications and an emphasis in business administration, which I still use today. So I've been through that experience as a player. After in my senior year, I ended up tearing my ACL. So unfortunately, my playing career ended a little bit sooner than I wanted, but I got into coaching a lot sooner than my teammates. So I've been coaching for over 20 years. As a result of that, I've been able to help a lot of players play at the next level. I've gone through so many different players, both on the field coaching and also with the, guiding them through the recruiting process. So I've been on the grassroots, the ground level with players and parents and helping guide them through the process with all of that experience. I also, as Ben had mentioned, I have my national A license, and I think we took at least the C, B, or A together, or maybe a couple of them. So I've got the education there. Let me let a few people in here. 1 second. Sorry, I've got some people that are trying to get in, and I want to let them in. Okay. So so I've got the education, the coaching experience, working with players and parents, and really have a good feel for what players and parents need, because it's difficult, especially if you're going through this college recruiting process for the first time with your son or with your daughter. So I have the experience in terms of working with them and finding out what they need and helping them get connected with college coaches. In addition, I have good relationships with a lot of college coaches across the country to find out what they're looking for, what they need, and kind of helping them get connected with players. In terms of the college, the recruiting overview, what we have here is TGS is very unique in the way that it's not just your typical player profile. It's a player profile with a ton of features and benefits, but it's also tied to different leagues.
I hate saying this. I think our matchup might be a little better this year.
Garrett, mute yourself.
So it's tied to different leagues, tournaments, events, clubs. So different leagues we're connected with that can help connect the schedules with the player profile, different tournaments that we're connected with. From a club standpoint, coaches and directors can have oversight of the player profiles and seeing what the progress that they're making. Teams have access to it, obviously the players. And then on the other end of it, college coaches have access to look at player profiles, look at teams, identify players, favorite them, like them, add them to their schedule, all that. So it's basically everything all in one system, which is very, very helpful, not just a standalone player profile product. So as you can see there, all the key items that are included from the player profile all the way through to schedules in college analytics, okay? The actual product in itself, we have over 6,000 college coaches that use the TGS system. Clubs and teams have access to be able to use it for their billing, registration, etc. So it's a fully integrated system, and basically everything you need for a club or a team or a player is in one system. Some of the key items, the first one, the advanced college search, is a huge tool that I highly recommend using, and I'll show you exactly how to use that. Finding out more information about colleges specifically in the school overview. You can add player favorites, so you can have a list of all the schools that are your favorite schools that you want to attend. We have a student athlete questionnaire. The preferences and match tracker, I'll show you exactly what that looks like and how it works, but basically preferences are your the criteria athletically, academically, socially, and financially. And we match that with schools that would be a good match for you, and we give that a percentage so you can identify which schools might be the best fit for you. You have player views, college attendance of games, a communication tracker, brochure builder, and we also added a personal advisor page that I will show you what that looks like as well, okay? So that's the overview and the product. I'm going to show you a quick 13-minute video on how to use the player app, and then I'll come back to you and show you how to use the desktop and some of the features that we just talked about here.
Welcome to the TGS Player Account Overview. We will be covering how you can manage your player account from your mobile device and website. Before we get started, there are some important items we need to go over. You will first need to make sure that you download the TGS Player app from either Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Players that are part of certain organizations such as ECNL can download the Player app from the specific organization instead of the TGS standard Player app. If you already have the app downloaded, please make sure you have the most up-to-date version from the App Store. Once the app is downloaded to your mobile device, it will require you to log in. You will use your email that is attached to your TGS Player account. A common question that is asked is, how do I know if I already have a TGS account? And if I do, what email is being used for my account? Most players do have an account with TGS, so you do not have to set up a new account. Check with your team admin or club admin, and they can provide you with the email address associated with the account, or reach out to TGS Help Center by emailing help@totalglobalsports.com, and a representative will get back to you. Okay, let's get started. Once you're logged into the app, you'll see your name. Go ahead and select your name. This will open the main menu. Players that are 12 and under will not see college information, as it's only displayed for players 13 years and older. There are many items to choose from, so let's start at the top and select My Schedule. You will now see a list of all your upcoming games. The TGS system automatically adds games from all leagues, tournaments, and events that use TGS. This takes the hassle out of manually adding games or updating games when changes are made, so your schedule is always up to date with accurate information. If you do need to add a game, you can do so by selecting Add a Game. You simply enter all your game information and select the Add button. Let's go back to the main game list and select an individual game. You now will see the game details. On the top of the page, you have Change Game Status. This is where you will update your game status. You can choose from attending, injured, possibly missing, not attending. Once you have chosen your status, you will select the Save button to update your game status, which notifies your club and team along with college coaches. Selecting Game Note will allow you to add a note or update an existing game note. This note is only shared with college coaches. It's important to understand that this is a game note and not an email, so keep it short and to the point. An example would be, if you are a keeper and you're playing only in the second half, you would want to add a game note explaining that you're only playing in the second half. This would inform the college coaches. Once completed, select the Save button. You'll get a high five notification letting you know that your game note has been saved and shared. Send game info to My College Favorites is a unique and simple feature. When selected, it will automatically send your game info to all colleges you have favorited. Once the message is sent, you will see the high five notification that the information has been sent successfully to each staff member of each college favorite. Here is a sample of the email that is sent automatically. The email has your photo, club name, team name, grad year, and position, along with a direct link to your profile. It will display a short message with the college coach name and event name and full game details. College coaches only need to select the links provided to add the game information directly to their recruiting schedule, making it a simple process for all. Moving on to My Profile section. This section allows you to update basic info, family info, sport info, academic info, fitness info, preferences, references, evaluations, and personal videos. There is a lot of information under My Profile, so let's take a closer look at a few important sections. Academic info section allows you to update your GPA, SAT score, and ACT score. By selecting any of the options, you can add or edit the information. Going back to My Profile menu. Preferences is a very important section, and you will want to fill out as much information as possible. This is where you will add your preferred college locations, college size, divisions you're interested in playing, prospective majors, and tuition cost range. TGS uses a unique algorithm matching players to individual colleges and takes into account this section. Although you might not know all the information asked, fill in what you do know. We understand that things change as you progress through your recruiting process, so keep this section as up to date as possible. Let's go back to My Profile menu. Another important section is Personal Videos. This is where you can see all videos that you have added, allowing college coaches the ability to view your personal videos. To add a video, select Add New Video. You can add a video file from YouTube, Vimeo, or from your computer or phone. Remember that videos you add here should be between 2 and 7 minutes in length, not full-length games. Take the time to step through each section under My Profile and fill in as much information as possible. The more information, the better, and remember, keep it up to date. Back to the main dashboard, My Teams. This will display all teams that you're currently active on and your past teams. Selecting an active team will display My Schedule, Teammates, Staff, and Edit Team Info. Taking a closer look at Teammates, you will see the list of your current teammates. You can select an individual teammate that will allow you to message, email, or call directly from your mobile device. This will apply the same way for staff members. Going back to the main dashboard, My Workouts section allows your club and coach the ability to assign you workouts directly to your mobile device. You'll be able to see workouts, history, challenges, personal best, and leaderboards. Selecting workouts will display assigned plans, TGS plans, and manual workouts. Assigned plans will display workouts assigned to you by your coaches. Selecting an individual plan assigned to you will display the workout due date and the name of the workout. There are many different types of workouts that can be assigned, so let's take a look at this particular one. You can see the sets, reps, and rest time along with the instructions. Select the Start button, and when you're finished, the workout is automatically saved in your account, your coach's, and club account. Going back, let's take a look at another workout. This workout displays an instructional video. You will be able to view the video, giving you instructions on how to do the particular workout, making it easy for you to understand what has been assigned to you. Moving on to TGS Assigned Plans. TGS continually adds new workout plans, allowing you to choose a plan at any time during the year that is not assigned from your club or team. Clicking into a plan, you will see the plan details and number of workouts. You can add the plan and choose the date when you would like to start. Let's go back and select Manual Workouts. This will allow you to do free runs, tracking the details of your run. Information tracked will be time, pace, calories burned, and elevation change, along with a map of your run. Going back to the main menu, let's take a look at the College Recruiting Center. This is where you can take control of your college recruiting. To view all colleges, select Colleges. You will see the master list of each college along with the match tracker percentage. You can use the search features to find a particular college you're looking for. By selecting the individual college, you will be able to see important college information, coaching staff info, and contact info. If you select any of the items, you will be able to see the detailed information. You will notice on the top of the page, you have messages, notes, and make favorite options. To make this school a favorite, select the button and give it a star ranking 1 through 5 stars and select the Save button. You will now notice that the page will display the ranking information for you on that college. Moving back to the College Recruiting Center and selecting My Favorites, the system will automatically categorize them into each section based on your favorite rankings. Selecting a section will display all colleges, allowing you to quickly access the individual college. Let's go back and choose college attendance. This section will load up all your game history. You'll be able to look at any game at any time and see what colleges attended your game and which staff member. When you choose an individual game, you will see the number of colleges and college coaches that attended the game. By selecting the individual college, you will see which staff member from the college was the one attending your game, and you have the ability to email them directly from your phone. By going back to the list, you can select the College Coach button and it will display the list by college coaches. This section gives you instant and accurate information about who attended your game so you can communicate with them directly. Many ask, how does this information get logged? Well, your team must be using the TGS College Sideline Check-in product. Moving along to College Reports. This will display all colleges that have looked at your profile and the number of times. You can select an individual college and it will take you directly to the college page. Back to the College Recruiting Center and selecting College Resource Center. TGS has created a checklist for you to stay on track during each of your college recruiting years, along with resource links. When selecting a checklist, it is broken down by season, making it very simple for you to stay on track. You simply check the items once completed and the percentage completion will be updated. College Camps allows you to see colleges that list their camp information. By selecting a college camp, details will be displayed for you. Moving back to the main menu, it is important that you keep your commitment status up to date. Colleges are using the TGS system for recruiting info and want the most up-to-date information as possible. Photo Wall is a feature that brings in all TGS events that your team attended. You are able to see the photos posted from the event, like and share the photos with teammates, and post your own photos to the wall. As great as it is that this product is available on a mobile app, we want to make sure that you know it's also available on the web. When you log into the web version, you can see that everything we went through can be managed and viewed on the web. My Profile section displaying all the details. Recruiting Center with robust search capabilities. Schedules, club and team videos that are shared with you. Personal statistics for each game and news from your leagues and club. So get started today and let's get you to become a college student athlete.
All right. So that gives you a good overview of stuff.
Welcome.
That gives you a good overview of the player app. What I'm going to do here is you should see a player profile. It should say Annika Friedel. Do you guys see that?
It's a little bit frozen right now on the keynote.
Okay, let me stop share. This is what I usually have to do. Then restart. Now you should see a player says Annika Friedel.
We got it.
Yep. So Annika, this is what you would see when you log into your player profile. You'll have your dashboard. If you click on these three dots up here, it kind of opens it up depending on the size of your screen. But this is your dashboard here. It shows your profile completion. It shows you how many colleges that you favorited, how many messages you've sent. It has a college recruiting checklist here to show your progress. If you want to get the player app, you can download the player app this way with the product. This shows you what profile you have. So if you have a plus account or a premium account, and it shows you everything that you get with each account. If you come back here to the dashboard, these checklists here. So we kind of map it out to show you how you can map things out. And as a freshman, here you can go. The checklist is here, and you can just click off different things that you've accomplished. So now you have a good idea of where you're at in the process, fall, winter, etc. So that just kind of keeps you on track, and it's a good little tool to use. coming back to your dashboard, and then you can see how it updates your progress here with a percentage. When you come to your player profile, this gives you all your basic information. If you ever have any issues or you need any technical help, you always reference your TGS ID number, which is right here. That'll help the help desk get directly to your account and solve any issues for you. But all your basic information is here, your current account type, again, profile completion, and you fill in this information by going here to basic info. This is where you can change or upload your video, your picture. This is where you can add your grad year, GPA, all that kind of stuff. Some of these areas are locked if you're with a certain league. So it's all based on the registration there. So that's why it may be locked for certain players based on registration with that particular league. But all the basic information is there. You can add social media accounts, family information, so mom and dad can be on here as well to get updates and information from TGS. Your commitment status, whether you're uncommitted, committed, or verbal committed. This student athlete questionnaire is something that we just added. As you go through this college recruiting process, you're going to notice that there's a lot of, on the athletic websites, there's a student athlete questionnaires or prospective student athlete questionnaires that they want you to fill out. I highly recommend that you fill those out because that gets you in the database of that particular college, but also get some good information that they can use for you in the future in terms of recruiting. Similar here, we just gather more information, and it kind of, you end up killing two birds with one stone, because when you fill in this information, it also updates your player profile. So it's good for you to go through this. Some of this information goes into your player profile. Others is just for our insight in terms of the college recruiting process and background for you. It asks you different questions that kind of get you thinking about the college recruiting process. Dream colleges, for example, it asks you to, if you've attended any ID camps. It also asks you to add a list of your top 10, and these automatically get updated in your favorites list as well. And I'll show you where that is when we get to the College Recruiting Center. This is the preferences that I mentioned before, athletically, academically, socially, and financially. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth in the next section, specific with preferences, but it's also here in the student athlete questionnaire. If you are stuck or you have any challenges in any areas, this is where we get some insight on how we might be able to help you based on this information, and then you click save. If you come up here, the high school, soccer, academic, fitness information, that's all very straightforward. Just fill in and update that information as much as possible, especially if you're a player. You want to have as much of this information filled in as possible. Now, the preferences. This is where it's super, super important that you fill this in based on what your interests are. So if you're a player that wants to play Division I or Division II or Division III, it's multiple select. So you can select multiple divisions, or you can just focus on one. It's all up to you and your preference. But that would be the level that you're seeking to play. What school size are you looking to attend? Do you want to go to a small school, 5,000, medium school, 10,000, or a bigger school, 15,000 plus? So you pick that. Preferred school tuition cost. So starting at 500 all the way up to 20,000 plus. This particular player picked that. It basically opens up all options from top to bottom. If you have a prospective major or something that you want to study, you can choose from here. So we have a variety of different ones that you can choose from, and you can go with one or you can go with multiple. It's all based on, again, on your preferences. Here we break the country into 4 different zones, and you can choose which zone you have interest in attending school in. So it could be just 4, it could be just 2, or it could be all 4 of them like this particular player, okay? And then you can add any additional college preferences in there, press save, and this automatically gets updated into your profile. References here. If you want to, I highly recommend adding your head coach, maybe your college director, director of coaching, your personal trainer, your private trainer, whatever it is. I do recommend adding them as references, and it's pretty easy to do. You just click this button up here in the right corner, add new. You type in the name and then their email address here, press send, and it fires off an email to that coach or trainer, and then it says basically that you are working with Total Global Sports and you would like a reference from them. They type in a reference, submit it, and then it gets updated here. And then you can choose to make it public or private. It's up to you. So if it's a good one, you definitely want to make it public. If it's not exactly what you want, or you just want to keep it for your own personal records, you can keep it private. Evaluations, if you guys use evaluations as a club, you can upload them here. Personal videos is another good feature. Obviously, during COVID, college coaches were relying heavily on considering or looking at players through video. So that was a good way for them to get a good sense of, what a player plays like, what they look like, how they move, and then they can put them on a list to see if they want to come see them live and in action. So you can upload your videos here. You can see this player has multiple videos. You click on the video and it gives the highlight. You can enlarge it if you want, just here. So everything is right there for that highlight video for the college coach to see. And they're really easy to upload. So you can just go add new video. You can choose from your computer, from YouTube or Vimeo. Type in the name there, drop the file here, press save. You can choose the file from either one of those, YouTube or your own computer, save, and then it automatically uploads it there. So very easy to use. If you have a Trace ID, if you use Trace ID, it fully integrates here. The only thing is whatever email address you use with Trace ID has to be the same email address that you use with TGS, and then it's fully integrated. So your moments, game clips, etc., would all be stored in here. Again, here it gives you a little bit more in-depth insight on your profile completion. So this player has everything completed. If she, for some reason, didn't have a reference or didn't favor a college or didn't have a highlight video, it would be unchecked here. The percentage would be smaller, and then she'd have to go back and update that information so that she could get 100% on the profile completion. Personal College Advisor is here. This is basically a program that we put in place that is an upgrade for players. Typically, this is what we find is the parents that take advantage of this program are parents that are going through this process for the first time with their kid. They're usually busy. They don't have a lot of time to try to figure it out themselves, so they get personal guidance and assistance from me or one of our other personal advisors. And this basically breaks down the process into different steps. So different tasks that need to be completed. You go through these first 1, 2, 3, 4 tasks, which includes watching and reading lessons 1 through 4. So you can come up here, click on the lesson, go through the video, click the different action steps to make sure that you've completed those. Go back, go to lesson 2, same thing, go through the action steps, make sure everything is up to date and completed, and you progress through the program. And then once you get to watching lessons 1 through 4, you can schedule your best fit meeting, which is a one-on-one Zoom meeting with me or one of the other personal advisors. And that's real easy to schedule. You just click this here, look at what availability the advisor has, click this, you can schedule your meeting and confirm it, and then you will meet with that personal advisor to walk you through the steps, where you're at, and give you advice on what's next, okay? And then we can take notes here as well. So that's an upgraded feature, again, for parents that need help with the college recruiting process and need that specific guidance. If you come here to Recruiting Center, click on Recruiting Center, you go to the dashboard. This gives you a good overview of your checklist, again, that I mentioned earlier. Communication resources, video resources, matches, NCAA information as well, some video tutorials, etc. So that's your dashboard. What I want to focus on here is you come back to dashboard, go to colleges. This is where you can do the research, okay? Let's say you want to go and look at Division I schools in, let's say, in California, you can search, and all those schools, Division I schools in California, will pop up. You can click on a school, let's say St. Mary's College, come in here. You can get some more information on tuition costs. You can click here on the school overview. Actually, this doesn't have the updated information. Let me come back here. We could come here, Division I and California. Search here. Oops. And again, look at all the different universities inside California. I'll pick, take a look at another one. Let's say just UCLA, for example. You have the college staff here. You can message the college staff if you want directly from here. Send them and personalize that email. But here again, school overview, when you click on it, it gives you more information on the actual school, tuition cost, out-of-state, in-state, division, conference, acceptance rate, 16%, so a little bit more difficult to get into. Full-time enrollment, it's a big school, so 30,000 plus. What the SAT and ACT range is for admissions. Graduation rate, high, so 91%. You can go straight to the admissions website there as well. And then you also have popular majors that are listed here also. Players that have attended this school that have been on the TGS system as well.
I wonder what club that Michaela Rosenbaum played for. Does anybody know what club she played for?
Is that you guys?
That's us.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
That's cool, yeah. So, and this is good. This is a good gauge. So, like, for example, if you know that and you can see that, you can say, okay, well, if Santa Rosa United has sent players to this university, that means that they have a relationship and some sort of connections there. So it's a good opportunity. And if you can size yourself up with this player and get a good gauge if that might be an opportunity or a level that you can play in. So good observation there. And again, this is the way that you can do research on if that school might be a good fit for you or not. Okay. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about it. So you can go specific state, you can go division, and you can go by conference. So you can go in and pick a particular conference, take a look at it. And again, I always recommend that, see this match tracker percentage here, anything above 30%, I recommend doing some research on and considering, because this match tracker percentage is based off of your preferences. So the division you want to play, the size of school, the academic interest, the financial fit, and the location. So this is, I would come here and go, okay, 45%, I'm going to do some more research, click on it. Again, look at the school overview, look at the acceptance rate, look at players that have attended there, etc. Popular majors, and I can see if that might be a school that would be of interest to me, okay? If I want to come in here and look at, I can even do different divisions. I could do public or private, again, and different conferences, okay? Let's say I want to get back to a state and do some more research. I can come in here and take a look. See, for example, this one is 80%, and this player has favorited them with 4 stars. So if I come in and click on this, I can see that, there's been some activity here. So she's sent some messages. There's some notes here. So you can make notes as you're going through the school so that you don't forget and you can remember different things. So this is good for physicality, and she's made some notes here. So, and then you can see that the sent messages are here, all the different emails that she sent to them at different times. And then again, players there. So a very useful resource. And again, if you come here to colleges and you go to Division I, and you can just do all Division I schools. Come in here and let's say, I see a school not 55%, let's say 40%, and I want to like it. I can click here and I can make it a favorite. So I come up here to the top, add it to my favorites. I can choose what star ranking that I want to keep it at, press save, and then it gets added over here to my favorites. So when I come to my favorites, I would see all the schools that I have listed that I've favorited based on my research or interest. And as you can see with this particular player, everything is over 30%. And she's favorited all these different schools. This school here has, 9 messages sent. That was Baylor. All the other schools, this one has 13. So you can see the messages that have been sent and that kind of stuff. So lots of research, but that's where I say focus a lot of time on identifying the colleges, doing the research here, and then making your favorites here as well. When you come down here to schedules, she doesn't have any games scheduled here, but if you had some upcoming games in a league or event or showcase, you could send your game information to all the college favorites. So it sends one email to all the college coaches that are on your favorites, and it gives them an update of that particular game or that particular schedule, and it invites them to come watch them play. On that email, it also says that they ask them if they want to make you a favorite or make you a favorite and add you to their schedule. So that's a good feature that helps you save some time in terms of sending emails to coaches when you have upcoming games and schedules inside TGS. If the league is not connected to TGS and inside the system, you can also do self-input games. So you can add a game here, add the list, add the information, and then press save, and then that game will be saved in there, and then you can send the game information to the college coaches that way, okay? And then you can see the past games here as well. So she's at a bunch of different games there. So that's one way to send emails. As college attendance here, so you can see different schools that have attended your games, college reports. So you can see how many of these, like 4 views from Southwest Baptist, 3 views from Baylor, 2 views from these schools. So you can kind of get an idea of which schools have viewed you. Again, takes you back to Baylor. And again, you can email the staff from here if you want and make it more of a personalized email as well. What else is there? Oh, there's college camps. So if you're looking for different camps in different areas, colleges will post their camps here, and you can do a search for them or just look at different areas that you want and you can search by state, by division, and by conference and look for different camps that way as well. Okay. That's pretty much all the information that I have in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump out of this really quick, and I'm going to share my screen again. And you should see, come back here. So next steps. Do you guys see next steps?
We do, yes.
All right, perfect. So I've given you a lot of information, right? A little bit of background on myself, a ton of information with how to use the player app. The players love using the app because it's easy. It's on the phone. You can use a lot of the functions right in the palm of your hand. So that's great. I definitely recommend downloading that player app. You definitely want to set up and activate your player profile. So if you haven't activated that, definitely do that. That should be set up through the club for you. Update your student athlete questionnaire once you get inside that player profile. It'll help you fill out a good portion of your player profile, so that profile completion will be higher. Your preferences, which I mentioned, is your fit athletically, academically, socially, and financially. Update that. Add any references that you have. If you have a highlight video, I recommend adding that to your player profile. College coaches love to see highlight video to get a sense of your level of play. Do the college research that I mentioned. Use that tool, play around with it, identify the schools that you're interested in and add them to your favorites list. Obviously, send emails to college coaches to invite them to come watch you play. You have basically June and July, maybe a little bit of August to get these college coaches to come watch you play in a showcase or a playoff event. Or if you can't get them to come watch you play, then try to attend one of their ID camps. If you need any specific guidance or assistance with the college recruiting process, I'm available as well as a personal advisor. You can schedule a call with me there also. But I am going to be sending out an email, kind of mapping out these next steps, giving you access to your player profile link so that you can activate it. So you'll get another reminder to activate your player profile and update all the information there as well. And then I'll follow up with a recording of this. Okay. So that's the information for now. As I mentioned in the chat, I put the help at totalglobalsports.com. That will help you with any technical issues. My email is c.gonzalez@totalglobalsports.com. I can help you with the college recruiting process. And I do have a Calendly that schedules, calls to go over, finding out where you are in the college recruiting process, what your goals are, and then seeing if there's any way that I can help you with your goals. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is open it up for any questions. I'll take a look at the chat. So if you guys have any questions, I see we have a variety of graduation years here from 2022s all the way down to 2025s. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them down here in the chat.
I had a couple questions.
Okay.
Does the match percentage that shows up for each of those schools, is that just based on the players' preferences they've entered, or does it take into account like what their academic performance, their SATs, and those things that they've entered? Does that factor into that percent at all?
A little bit, yes, a little bit. So the admissions, in order to qualify to get into that actual school, it would take that into consideration based on the GPA that they put in.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of that. There's a small percentage of that. It takes all those preferences and admissions. So what they would be able to get into consideration.
Okay.
It also does where, let's say you like the school and then the school goes in there and adds the player as a favorite, then that also increases the match tracker percentage as well. That's outside of the preferences.
Okay. Well, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then a second unrelated question. As the manager of the team, if we're going to a showcase, for instance, like next weekend, that's not in the TGS system, can I enter our games on behalf of the entire team? Or would each player have to say, come see this game on Saturday and enter that game themselves?
I believe it has to be done individually. So you're going to a showcase event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So number one, as a team admin, I would try to do it yourself first. And then, because sometimes if it's not in our system, you have to request for that event to be added to our system. Then after that's added, then all your players can go in there and add it themselves, and it'll already be there. And then that'll make it easier for them.
Okay. And would that be the same like the individual games at that showcase? I can enter those and.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I can enter it, and if the kids can see it, they see it, and if they don't, then they can add it themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, Carlos, Josh Sterling here. Quick question. First of all, by the way, you mentioned losing to Indiana in '92, but I like the beating the UCLA. I grew up playing against Joe Max Moore, so that was awesome to see you guys beat them.
Yeah.
He was the Orange County darling. Hey, real quick. So one of the things back in the day, obviously we didn't have all these systems. We had spreadsheets, we had the brochures and the whole deal, right? So you guys have done awesome. But now the challenge I'm seeing, and I get asked all the time, is, and Claire just mentioned it too, part of it. We're doing TGS. We're all in. But then we're going to the NorCal Showcase this weekend and their scouting zone. Then we go to Surf Cup and their soccer eye, and then so-and-so uses this. And can you talk a little bit about, like, since we're all in with you guys, like, how do we use those systems? Should we not be using those? Should we just put some bare bones in there so our kids are in those systems? Like, can you talk a little bit how we should handle that?
Yeah, like I'll use Scouting Zone, for example. Like sometimes they tie themselves into a tournament or an event, and my advice, my personal recommendation is, use the free service that they have for that player profile. You know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to have multiple profiles out there for different events. What we've tried to do with TGS is make it to where you can use this one for everything. So a lot of times other events will be partnered with another recruiting platform, but that's why we put in the self-inputted games, because you can still use our profile, use our player profile, add the schedule into it, integrate it, connect it, and then send the information to the college coach as well. So I guess to answer your question, sometimes you have to use multiple ones. We've tried to make it easy so that you only have to use TGS. And really you can really only use TGS if you want, but sometimes certain events require or ask for that information. And like you said, I recommend putting in the bare bones because it doesn't hurt. It just puts you as a player out there a little bit more. But I wouldn't be spending money for multiple ones, because that becomes crazy.
Cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Some of the frequently asked questions that I do get is, when should we get started? For the females, I usually recommend freshman, sophomore. The college recruiting process does typically start a little bit sooner with the girls. They start identifying players at a little bit younger age. Boys, by sophomore, you need to start the process. And a lot of this is, visiting college campuses, watching college soccer on TV, getting familiar with the level, doing some research online, talking to your counselors about your academic plans and where you're at now, and make sure that you're maintaining good grades, that type of stuff. And then once you start getting into updating your player profile and putting, adding more accolades and then creating a highlight video, that kind of stuff, by sophomore, it takes you a little bit of time, because this is the college recruiting process, and certain things take a little bit of time to get you there, because it doesn't just happen overnight. So you have to start planning ahead that, by June 15th of your sophomore year, you want to have had to have done a lot of stuff to get identified and recruited on a list, so that by June 15th, when college coaches want to start reaching out to those, incoming juniors, you've already done a lot of the legwork. And then obviously junior and senior is where there's a lot of activity and action with conversations, recruiting trips, getting to the ID camps, unofficial visits, etc. And that's where things get really exciting and fun. But yeah, other than that, you guys are part of a great club. Santa Rosa United is doing a great job up there. I've seen them over the years. I've been involved with soccer for a long time, and I know that they have a strong club, great coaches. We're happy to be a part of the organization and be able to help and assist you guys as much as possible. So our goal is that this, software platform makes it easier for you, puts everything at your fingertips to be able to use. My advice is you have to use it though. You have to get comfortable. It's user friendly, but players and parents have to get on there and play with it a little bit, get comfortable with it, and realize how easy it is, and keep things up to date. Okay, and get those college coaches to come out and watch you play. All right. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Josh, for hosting this and putting this together. I will send out a follow-up email with more information on how you can activate your player profile. And then I'll also send this recorded video to Ben to hand out and pass out to everybody as well. Okay.